Hello, my ladies and pretty gentlemen. Welcome to a new season and a fresh episode of Look What's Happening in the Spirit Realm with yours truly, Light. Today, I have a very profound message. If some of you have been keeping up with my blog, we do conclude the October energy, and we left it at a lot of questions regarding you, regarding the energies that were kind of at the center stage in October. Well, November is bringing a very new chapter. The very potent message that I'm receiving is that the energetic tap has been closed. There is an outpour of energy that has been completely shut down and circulated or sent right back to the source, which is you, in so many aspects. What I'm hearing is that the point was to demoralize you. The point was to have you crunched up and feeling like the whole world was against you. That was the point. The point was power, because you have innate power. You're not wielding it from a place of, I have power and I'm going to use it against people. And this is why a lot of people who lack personal power, who lack personal identity, who lack comfort within their skin, target you. It's because you don't care to adhere or to be appreciated or to be worshipped by people. You are here experiencing, learning yourself. And if you are resonating so far, this message is for you today. Because there's a large group of people that have been up against you, and either in a spiritual sense, where it is a spiritual thing, or this could be manifested by people who've been infested by these dark entities on behalf of you. Now, the source of it is to make you feel crazy. I need to say this because I always speak on these things, and sometimes there are some people that come into my comment section and say some random things that they think will make me feel a certain way about myself. But I am detached. I do not care what you think. I'm here to speak on evil, and I will not stop speaking on evil, because that is what they want you to do. They want you to be silent, because in the silence, in the shadow, is when they can operate. The point is to demoralize you. But what I'm hearing is this. There's been great unrest. There has been great unrest, and mainly it has a lot to do with the fact that this tap has been shut down from a very impartial force. And this force is something that has been watching. It has been watching and witnessing the energy of these people. And a lot of, spiritualists might say that, karma or God was waiting for them to make a different choice. But today we're actually going to talk about something completely different. This is what I'm hearing. There is someone in specific who does not know you. You see, it's so funny to me that this is how you know that you're a chosen one. I'm going to just be very, very blunt today. This is how you know you're a chosen one. Even that those that do not know you feel the urgency to use you as some type of tool to make themselves feel better. They will go out of their way to hurt you, to kind of get back at the people that have hurt them in the past. They do not know you. They do not care to know you, but they're so eager to believe lies and to believe and to take part in demolishing you because of the sheer power around you. And you have to understand, this is why they come at you in packs. And this is why you're a lone wolf. And the more you are a lone wolf, the more they become a pack, because they need all of them to bring you to your knees. And even then, I've been posting on threads about this, and even then, they still manage to turn the knife against themselves, because these people do not know. They do not have wisdom. They do not understand that when they take up arms to hurt you, they actually just hurt themselves. But we're going to get to this. I'm not going to preach. There's someone among these people who's desiring to speak the truth. But spirit has their mouth shut, taped down, and they're in a very dark place. And they are not allowed to speak to you so long as they're coming from a perspective of trying to turn fate in their favor. And this is where this person is challenged. And I mentioned this energy as the affianced or the intended in the blog for last October. This energy is having to face perhaps one of the darkest nights of their soul. And they're facing this because they believed that they were going to ease their pain of past trauma by hurting you, by trying to get some weird whack-ass ego boost out of hurting you. This is not the oppressor that we talked about. This is the middle energy that lacks a sense of identity, that is trying to find themselves either in doing evil or doing good. They still have not found the balance or the legitimate center of self. And so watching you, witnessing you, is the thing that triggered them, because they believed nobody can be authentic, nobody can be as loving or as kind as you've presented to be. So I will punish you because people have tricked me in the past. And you are the thing that I'm going to use in order to soothe the pain that I have not dealt with. Hurting you is going to help me. This is how this energy has thought. And they're being asked to look at the past 6 months. Their past 6 months. Because they've been prancing and dancing and drinking from your blood, energetically speaking. And this is the tap that has been closed in November. I don't know if you can feel it, but there's a sheer separation where you could be talking to certain people and some of you are going to sound crazy to them. They're not going to be able to understand you. Heck, you can speak the most clear sentence and speak very directly, not using any metaphors, and they would still fail to understand you. Because we have officially shifted into a new paradigm. And those who have shifted, they have shifted with you. You will see and understand and recognize each other. And those who have not will only try to put you down, while at the same time actually pushing themselves back a few steps. This is what I'm hearing. This energy is going to claim, or they have been bargaining within themselves, that they were a victim of a more persuasive energy that played on their shadow. And this is the oppressor that I talked about in the blog, which is in the description box. If you want a more wholesome perspective of this video, that's going to help you. It was easy for them to stoop down. And they stooped down because they had a perspective of themselves that was false. They had achieved the status of this 3D world's perspective of value. But they lacked value in general. They lacked wisdom, they lacked knowledge and understanding. But they did not think that they did. And that's beside the point. But this energy has been trying to play the victim. It is very, very funny to me, because if anybody should play the victim, it should be the collective. But again, we talked about it. We have chosen to expand instead of destroy. Because the force of... We're not going to talk about destruction. I'm not going to I'm not going to digress. The collective has chosen to expand. Perhaps one of the hardest decisions, because a lot of the delusions that you may have held have been dismantled in a very harsh way. You've been given sight to see some people that you may have actually portrayed in a better light than they deserved. That has been dismantled. And there's a very new perspective that you're being granted, and you're beginning to see clearly who you are. And this is where the game kind of ends. This is where the energetic tap got shut down. It's because you're gaining a more wholesome, complete picture of who you are. That thing that has threatened these people. That thing that you have underplayed. That thing that sends these demons spiraling into a reckless rampage. that image you are beginning to see in a more complete way. And as this happens, the water has, this energetic water that has been being poured for these people has went from a steady stream to drops, and now it is completely parched. It's dry. It's dry. And when I say the end of this year, right, it's going to be very, very devastating for these energies. I don't know what they're going to see. Okay, I'm a seer, but I can only see so far. I don't know what they're going to see. But the mockery, the level of hate and disdain that has been pushed towards the chosen, this collective, the ones that I've called the enigma or the joker in the blog, the power structure has shattered and collapsed because you are no longer identified with that worn out character that you have tried to play, because all your life you've been undervalued. You've not been seen correctly. And you have, in turn, absorbed that false image that people wanted you to wear. You had internalized that. Even though your actions and the way you operate might be from a higher level, you needed to see yourself. Your sight needed to match up with who you are and how you operate. That is what is happening this November. A lot of the collective in this November is going to be able to speak things that were not previously possible. There are certain missing puzzle pieces of the darkness that you've endured that are going to come into perspective. And in many ways, you had already mourned it. You had already mourned the pain that it brought. But it's not so much mourning, even though there might be a part of the grief still remaining. It's going to be more of a mixture of rage and understanding. And the rage isn't going to be unmitigated. It's going to be used as a force, as a fuel to truly embody this sight, this image of yourself that they have been seeing. What I'm hearing is that this energy that tried to use you as basically a punching bag, and for some of you, this energy was sent from a previous connection that you had. They don't even know you, right? They might know you from a mutual of a mutual. They might know you from, they don't know you. They can't separate you from a crowd. However, they felt like you resonated with all the pain that has been caused to them by people. You carried that energy because I spoke about this in one of my videos. For some of you, this is like some kind of counterpart or a catalyst, more like. It's not a counterpart, a catalyst. That was specifically contracted to sort of trigger all the way back to the beginning for you. The traumas that have been happening consecutively from the very beginning. They're supposedly there to give you a bird's eye perspective of who you are in order to truly just embody and completely move through into this new chapter. I'm going to say this, but this is going to be my perspective. They expected you to not be well. Like, these energies wanted to prove something about you that they had either spoken together about, agreed on, or that they thought that they knew about you because of misinformation, purposeful misinformation. From an energy, the oppressor that I mentioned in the blog, that is completely and utterly malicious towards you. There is a sense of indifference. When I'm here in this energy, what I'm feeling is a sense of indifference, like a deep-rooted sense of indifference. And that is the thing that is shutting the energetic portal, that tap. It's the indifference. Whatever they did isn't good or bad. You have to understand, they did it out of a lack of understanding. They did it in order to help themselves in a very temporary way. And that is why they're being asked to look at the past 6 months. Because those 6 months, the past 6 months or year or two for some of you, these people are going to be reliving that for years to come. They're going to be reliving that for years to come. And I'm not saying that as a curse. I'm saying that because there is a profound lesson that they're going to have to learn. And what's going to make it even more profound is the fact that the collective, this enigma, the Joker, they attempted to assassinate your spirit, your essence, that you is going to come into the fullness of who you are. So the contrast is going to be so great because there's going to be so much light on your character versus the darkness, the depth of darkness that they face. It's going to be complete opposites. They're going to live in a world that is completely opposite. And for some of you, these are people that you may have had a sense of like longing, like unnecessary longing, or just thinking about, and you may have thought about them for a while. Or you may have had a perception of them that was a little bit softer, where you may have like some sense of longing or just like things coming up for you that you may not have really thought about, if I'm making myself clear. But that is happening because something is wearing off. Like, it's almost like they're trying to do a last call of your energy in order to spare themselves of the debt, the karmic debt that they're about to face. My main advice, or what Spirit's telling me, is that continue to embody the state of indifference. You do not need to wish these people well or ill. The best thing that you can do is remain in a state of indifference and focus on yourself. Focus on expanding your passions, because your destiny, or who you are, is going to be more and more clear, especially in this month. There is a sense of like a dawning, a breaking dawn happening. This is what's happening this month. It's the break of dawn. That's what I'm hearing. It has a bittersweet energy to it. A very bittersweet energy. I'm going to leave this message here. I hope it resonated. And if it did not, it wasn't for you. Or maybe it is, but not for this time. Regardless, everything you need to know is in the description box. And give me some time for the November readings. I'm just getting back into them because I took a small break on October. But if you want to understand further this video, I have a blog, and every month I will be writing up a blog to summarize the energy of the month. And it will give you a more comprehensive view of how I've been trying to direct these energies, even though it could be a little bit general. It's only general because I want to make it simpler to understand, even though there are multiple streams coming out of these energies. Anywho, I'm not going to be philosophical. Until next time, everyone, ciao.